Well, as a matter of fact, I did. We do show an impact of some sort to our magnetic field right about the time the blackouts in Spain, Portugal, and France. I don't know what it is, but I'm looking at.
They're claiming that this power outage in France, Portugal, and Spain was caused by a rare atmospheric disturbance. From my understanding, they said that the temperature fluctuations in that region caused the lines to vibrate, which caused a power outage. And I have to call BS on that, because how many times have you gone outside and it was 75 degrees out and sunny, and a cold front went through with a storm and it dropped down to 60? All within the span of like 30 minutes. Did your power go out? How about when it's really windy and the power lines are jumping up and down? Did your power go out? No, probably not. Now, when I heard this explanation, I sent it to my friend who's a lineman, and I asked if he's ever heard of anything like this, and he said, no, that's not even a thing. And he was the one that said, they sway in the wind. And I was like, oh shoot, they do. So if that explanation's not correct, and they're just using it as a cover, what actually happened? Well, let's look at what the European Union has been telling its citizens to do for the past few months. The European Union urges citizens to stockpile supplies to last 3 days in case of crisis. What type of crisis? The first two, war and cyber attacks. I bet you anything that they are scrambling for an answer right now. But they don't want their citizens to panic thinking that a war is coming soon, so they give them a bogus answer. Something that in the last 50, 60 to 100 years, I have never heard of actually occurring. To be honest, I think this was a trial run for the US. I think Russia and China are stretching their legs and seeing if it was actually possible for them to do this on a wide scale. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, stay safe, stay prepared.
We is VishusTv, Wow Vicious Network. We are VishusTv. We are VishusTv. Yo, welcome everybody. This is Dice Game G coming back here for another commercial, another break, you know what I'm saying, another ad, you know what I'm saying. This is 2025, we doing it live, you know what I'm saying. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are VishusTv. Subscribe to our Rumble channel. We are VishusTv. Also, go to Big Shoot, Dice Game 615. We are VishusTv. We done crossed 1,000 subscribers. Yes, we doing it live and lit into 2025. Please show us some love. Me and Dickie Jr., we want to go and live stream on, YouTube. We only got 36 subscribers. Please go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button after you view one of them videos, or, you know what I'm saying, them shorts. I'm telling them shorts be live and lit. You know what I'm saying? We doing it big here, you know what I'm saying, on Raw Vicious Network. That's what we're gonna be changing to, and I hope I see and hear from everybody. Make sure you hit that comment. Please hit that comment. We want to hear from you. Please, you know what I'm saying, join us on Telegram as well as we are VishusTv and Dickie and Dice Game Show. We doing it big, yo, you know what I'm saying, and get ready, all the truth is gonna be revealed.
Trust. I'm so turned up. Murfreesboro nigga, baddest grilla, earn bucks. I'm a gorilla, I kill you for my turn, cuz I hop up in that Chevy riding heavy burn.
Now back to our presentation.
Prophecy unfolding. This is breaking news, an update coming out of Europe. All of the times that I've been doing this now, the last 4 or 5 years, I've been saying so much of the plans of what we call the elite, the powers that be. Many people know the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, and some of the things that they've come out with over the years and what they were spouting. And it seems like these things are happening. Some people refer to The Simpsons and some of their predictions, but I kind of just like to stick to scripture. And I'm seeing it unfolding before my eyes. They're calling this the biggest blackout in European history that's happening right now. And what I want to do is to show you what's happening, but when you hear the excuse for the reason that this is happening, remember to smash the like button to get this out to as many as possible, because there's something good at the end of this. But have a look at what's happening in Europe.
Spain and Portugal, where we are hearing of a major power outage sweeping across both countries, plunging large areas into darkness this afternoon. Traffic in central Madrid reportedly grinding to a halt, lights out, and parts of the underground also being evacuated, according to local radio stations there. Spain's power grid operator says it is now working urgently with energy firms to restore supplies across the country. And in the last few minutes, in fact, a statement on social media from the Spanish electrical grid operator Red Electrica confirming all resources are being dedicated to solve the outages, and says it is working to analyse the causes of those outages across both Spain and Portugal. However, at this stage, the cause unclear. We are also hearing that all rail networks are currently paused, no trains entering or departing across multiple rail networks, and also a number of airports, including Valencia, currently struggling with departures due to that outage over the Spanish regions and Portugal too.
This is causing absolute chaos over mainland Europe. We know people that are even travelling over there that have been completely halted. No trains, no planes, no cash machines, no running water. And you can just see that it's going to happen. But when you hear the excuse that they come up with and the reason why this is happening, Spain, have a listen yourself. Even the BBC are not convinced.
Give you the exact words as they put out. They said, due to extreme temperature variations in the interior of Spain, there were, and this is the key bit, anomalous oscillations in the very high voltage lines, a phenomenon known as induced atmospheric vibration. But if you look at the temperature in Spain, it's the mid-20s.
Now, when it comes to these type of things, I've said this over and over again. The enemy has an agenda, and the people in control, the elite, they always have an agenda. You know, and the business I've been in over the last kind of 10 years, I can see that, you know, people in power create these kind of issues in order for whatever products that they have, whatever businesses they're in, get promoted and get pushed. And people are saying they wouldn't do it. They would. Most businessmen would do things like this. What I think is going to happen for this year, and it's been, now that it's come out in Europe that this is happening, I believe America is going to see one of the biggest ever to happen. And I feel it'll be in around the summertime. And for what reason, I don't know, but I just feel America is going to see an outage like they've never seen before. All of this is part of the plan. We're going to see major things happen this year, and they're going to say it's all to do with kind of climate change or global warming, and whatever name they want to give it. When we look at prophecy, we know that these things are foretold to happen. You know, when we view prophecy and we see things happening, we know that God can use people to bring them about. And I see it happening day in, day out. People kind of not self-fulfill prophecy, but fulfill prophecy. And also, it's just crazy to see that this is actually happening in 2025. You know, many times we've talked about certain things that would happen. We're seeing this starting to unfold. But remember, there's always good news in this. Christ can be found today and now. Even though the world is chaotic, you can still find them. But remember this, God's always in control. Keep the faith.
So this is groundbreaking news that I have no idea why nobody's reporting on it. Why is nobody talking about all of the Europe nationwide power outages that are happening right now? This is spanning across Spain, this is spanning across Portugal, southern parts of France. It is a complete blackout in those nations. And this is according to the latest news and breaking headlines, and the report said the outage, described by experts as absolutely exceptional, was triggered by a rare atmospheric phenomenon causing significant oscillations in high voltage power lines. This led to the disconnection of Spain's grid from the broader European network, resulting in widespread power failures across the Iberian Peninsula. Madrid, Barcelona, Seville, all experiencing complete blackouts. You have thousands of people at the train stations unable to go anywhere because those have completely gone down. They are even being forced to use cash because no electronic payments are accessible right now. Transportation systems, metro lines and trains, traffic lights, everything has stopped functioning. There are even reports that airports have been disrupted with flight delays and passengers being stranded. Portugal is even facing similar challenges. The Lisbon Metro and other train services have been suspended, and mobile networks are experiencing significant limitations. They are even saying that cell service is coming down. What could this phenomenon that happened in the atmosphere, that's what they're reporting, what was that? To affect over 4 huge nations in the East. That's all we know for now. As soon as I get an update, I'll make sure to update.
Nationwide blackout ever happen in the UK? After Portugal and Spain were struck with power outages, you might be wondering, could this ever happen here? Just imagine this: no phone signal, no trains, no cash machines, and no CCTV. Pretty much everything we rely on a daily basis would be thrown into chaos. There's a few different things that could cause a blackout, such as extreme weather like floods and hurricanes, even solar storms blasting particles at Earth. Oh, and there's also cyber attacks as well. Sounds intense, but don't panic, this is not hugely likely. Because in 2019, a UK power company released the blackout report where they put the odds of a total shutdown at 1 in 200 over 5 years. So that's just 0.5%. So hopefully we won't have to get the candles and board games out anytime soon.
Grand Rising and Grand Rising, everybody. This is Dice Game G coming back here on the Vicious News. We are Vicious TV, and right now, Europe, the UK, Spain, you know what I'm saying, got a massive blackout. And this not a coincidence, everybody. Remember, it was talked about years ago that Russia and these other countries supposed to have an EMP, and we was hearing about the blackouts that they can cause, our electrical grid to go down. You know what I mean? We've been hearing about that ever since, 10 years ago. And now we facing the Middle East into a blackout. And these blackouts been happening all across the world for the last couple of years. But now, it's not a coincidence that we having blackouts at this time. You know what I'm saying? When we have a mass awakening that's hitting the whole planet, and they're gonna try to blame it something in the atmosphere. Blame it out, what I'm saying? They like to feed us some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And the people, when they put this out saying something in our atmosphere, created the blackout, I bet you some of the people believe that shit. You know what I mean? And especially, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And one thing do make sense to me, you know what I'm saying? They losing the grasp of the people's consciousness. People's consciousness is rising up against the fucking tyranny. And that's all I'm witnessing. You know what I mean? So this is another fear tactic they got on us. You know what I mean? It's a lot of distractions that's been going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We got people mowing people down and fucking, in parades and stuff like that. We hearing about corruption at its highest peak. You know what I mean? We hearing about China. You know what I'm saying? Really, they, they basically, in a depression, because majority of their population is out of work, and like I said, they want to blame it on people. They want to point fingers at Donald Trump and the tariffs and stuff. But now this is your own government doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because your own government got a Ponzi scheme going on the people. See, the mainstream media don't talk about that. About the Ponzi schemes that was going on in China, you know what I'm saying? And now they're hitting and rolling out blackouts, you know what I'm saying? Because people is waking it up. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? This is, people want to say this is prophesized, you know what I'm saying? Maybe. But we know we at the end, we in the last days of this old system. And, you know what I'm saying? Life goes on, but it's up to us to, create the new. See, you know what I'm saying? If this don't resonate to you, you know what I'm saying? You vibrating on a low consciousness or low vibration, because you know what I'm saying? You should have been keeping up with all this stuff, and you should have known that this time was coming. You know what I'm saying? They was gonna they see that we all waking it up and going against their tyrannical fucking agenda. So they're gonna cause mass panic, chaos,
I told you this is order out of chaos here, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Things like this just don't happen. You know what I'm saying? A whole, you know, 2 cities, you know what I'm saying, going in a massive blackout all of a sudden, and they really don't, and they really don't know why. Most people don't know why, but they're gonna give you a effed up story talking about it's something in the atmosphere. Just saying, you know, when they bring out something like that and then they stuttering and they don't know how to get the details out right and it don't make sense, it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So as a lot of people I hear about something in the atmosphere and it wasn't making sense, they let you know it's a lie there. You know what I'm saying? We at the beginning of the end, you know what I'm saying, of this old corrupted system. And I don't even know why I say the beginning, because we've been at the beginning for a long time now. We at this, you know, we at the grand finale. All this shit is finna break down in front of us. It's breaking down in front of us now. But you seeing, you know, the deep state is this major panic. They're gonna try to do everything to cause that mass panic. So if they gotta go with a blackout, we heard about the 10 days of darkness. You know what I'm saying? So all this shit could be rolling out right now. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the 10 days of darkness 4 years ago. But now we rolling into, you know, Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, administration. And first of all, he just made it through 90 days. It feel like he been in there for a year. But, you know, we are traveling on the end of the fake Biden administration. That's why a lot of people, we still feel broken, feel everything, still feel like, you know, we can't save nothing. We feel like, you know what I'm saying, we ain't getting ahead. Everything is stagnant. We on the end of the Biden administration. This is what they left us. They left us with nothing. So until, you know what I'm saying, all them executive orders start kicking in from when Donald Trump put in, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be feeling this pressure. But we all gotta know it's light at the tunnel, in the end of the tunnel. So don't get frustrated. Keep your foot on their neck. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say in this one. You know what I'm saying? These blackouts, it's not a coincidence they are doing this. Like I said, they are panicking. The deep state, the Democrats, they are panicking all over the globe, especially in China, because China is rebelling against the CCP. Because like I said, it's all a Ponzi scheme. All of them went in there and wanted to go into real estate. People went into real estate and put their money, you know what I'm saying, in the real estate, and they were losing their money. They paid for houses and they didn't get their house, you know, so they losing money. The public, the population was losing money for putting all their money into, you know what I'm saying, all this real estate. And the government, the CCP, took their fucking money. And that's why you see the rebellion over in China. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to clear that shit straight. They're going to try to blame it on us, blame it on Donald Trump. No, you know what I'm saying? China was going down way before, you know what I'm saying, these terrorists come into play. I'm Dice Game G here on the Vicious News. Make sure you like and share this long and wide. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we at the greatest time in human history. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to keep saying that. So, keep your consciousness up high. Get your consciousness up, you know, your vibration up. You know what I mean? Keep feeding your consciousness. Get all this information in. I'm telling you, knowledge is power. I love y'all and I'm out.